You're live.
Good morning. Welcome to the June 17th Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. We're streaming the meeting live on YouTube. So, at this time, I'll call our clerk treasurer to have a roll call.
Carl Eaglin.
Here.
Dave Carlo.
Here.
Bob Courtney, absent.
Absent. We'll have the approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
I reviewed the minutes and I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as printed.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Claims. Had an opportunity to review the claims. We've got 37 pages of claims totaling $715,516.07. And I'll make a motion that the claims be approved as submitted.
I'll second David's motion.
Have a second, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We showing no adjustments today, so we'll move on to new business. The water project. We have 3 SRF
Yes, sir.
disbursement requests. Brian?
Yeah, we got 3 requests. I'll go through all 3 of them and then we can approve them all 3 at once, right, Joe? Correct. The first one is SRF request number 64 from Commonwealth Engineers, dated 5/31/24, an invoice in the amount of $115.24. We will submit that for the amount of SRF disbursement 64 for $115. The next one is SRF request number 65 from Brackney for water main replacements. It's dated April 24th, 24. The total amount of that invoice is $252,933, and this is the final release of retainage, as you see in the paperwork there. So once we release that, then they'll basically be finished, and like Rob said a few weeks ago, we still have the warranty on the project.
The work will be completed then.
It's already finished. We don't release the retainage until they're totally completely done.
I noticed the punch list on the back, punch
It's,
list has been completed.
Yes, sir. And if we do have any issues, we call them, they have to come back because we have a 1-year warranty also. So that amount of the SRF disbursement request number 65 is $252,933. And then we have SRS request number 66 to Dave O'Meara Contracting for the work on the water treatment plants. That's Division A. It's dated June 7th, 2024. The total amount of his invoice was $434,645.79. The retainage portion of that total amount is $21,732.29, $21,732 rounded. So the amount of the SRF disbursement for this pay app number 66 to Dave O'Meara will be $412,914.
What kind of work is left to do down there at the treatment plant?
They're still working on the boosters, and there's some switches and stuff that we haven't got in. The main problem with Division A is getting the material. We're still waiting on material, and so we try to do what we can without the equipment we have. And I still think we're missing a few switches. So, but we knew that going in when we talked about it a long time ago. He told us up front they were gonna have trouble getting a lot of the supplies.
Now, the switch, you're probably talking about the safety switches and catches that will.
Well, there's some meters and there's some more specific stuff that goes on now I lost my train of thought. The equipment that runs the pumps, they have special equipment that runs the pumps and they can't get the part they need to go ahead and finish installing it.
Okay.
I can get you more specifics if you want,
Okay.
but,
Brian, did we,
I have a meeting today and I'll know a little bit more. We have a meeting at 1 o'clock, so,
Yeah.
or 1:30.
did we previously approve an extension for them?
Yes, we did. They're gonna need more time though, based on, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Yes, Division A had a time extension, and they'll probably get another one in Division B too, cause they still have to fix. Division B, we added something on them is why they need a time extension, that
Yeah.
million-gallon tank up there that wasn't in the project, the roof replacement, and they're gonna do that for us, but, I'll know some more of that for the next meeting, after our meeting today, but.
Okay.
But those are the three disbursement requests we'll need to approve today and send off to the Indiana Finance Authority.
I make a motion, we approve the SRF request number 64, number 65, and 66.
I'll second Carl's motion. Do we have any discussion? Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
And the only other thing I was gonna go over was, I mentioned it before and we put out a press release last week. We're gonna be doing some work up on State Street, so we'll be closing State Street, from Michigan Road to Blackmore to repair a sewer line that's going across the road there. Weather permitting, but it looks like the weather's gonna be pretty good, so we'll be all right.
Do we need to close that at Michigan Road?
No,
Okay, you said Michigan Road to what?
from State Street from Michigan Road to Blackmore.
Oh, okay, okay.
So State Street will be what's closed, but we gotta put the signs up at Michigan so people are, Michigan and State. so
No
they don't turn.
through traffic.
Yes, yes.
Okay, very good, thank you.
VFDs, that's some of this stuff we're waiting on. I couldn't remember, my mind's slipping
Yeah,
over there.
okay.
Yeah, variable frequency drives that control the ramping up and down on the pumps.
Yeah,
I knew it was in there somewhere. But that's all I have.
okay.
Okay.
So we just be closed, no through traffic?
Correct, and they're only gonna close it
Thursday.
starting in the morning, and in the afternoon, they'll open it back up and we'll plate it, so that in the evenings and the early morning, you can get through there. But it's pretty easy to get around there, because if you can go to Blackmore and turn on Green Road and come down, I mean, it's not a hard bypass.
You might wanna make sure that Kenny and Bill know that, so in case we.
We
have to
give them
go
a
up
press
there,
release.
Access from
The
the.
newspaper
east
got
side.
it, the radio got it, everybody got it, so.
Okay.
Is this related to the leak repair that we had last year at Blackmore and?
Yes and no. When we did the leak repair, we discovered the problem with the sewer line, because we had to excavate in that area. And when they were doing the leak repair, they had discovered that, a ground rod was driven right through our sewer line. And as we inspected it, it was in bad shape going on to the east and south across the road. So since we're replacing it there, we just went ahead and gonna do the whole thing while we're there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's yes and no, yeah. I guess we found where they'd driven something through our line, but yeah.
We found the problem, so it's getting corrected, so. Okay. Anything else, Brian?
Nope, that's it.
Can we ask questions of Brian?
Yeah. You got a question?
Everybody can but Carla.
You'll have your chance at city council
We
meeting.
need to vote on that. Did we
Oh.
vote on that? And approve it already?
already voted.
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So can you clarify for everyone here and at home, the work that's going on Clifty Drive down by McDonald's and all that versus the work being done at the intersection of Michigan Road and Clifty Drive? Like I've been telling people, and I wanna make sure I'm telling them right.
Well, that's an NDOT project.
Okay, I know the NDOT is the
Okay.
Michigan Road one, we have no control over the Michigan Road Clifty Drive intersection.
Correct.
But further down the road, where they're putting in the new pipes and all that, down by McDonald's, that's not NDOT, right? Is that
Yes,
our?
that's NDOT also.
Oh.
Nicole knows too. She
Okay.
and I are both kind of involved in
So
that.
we have no control, that's what I keep telling people, over when they work, what they block off. We can make a request, but it's their project.
Yes, but one of the reasons we had a delay was because of utilities. That's usually what slows you down. They found that there was a gas line that was gonna intersect the design line, so that's why they've kind of slowed down. But I think they should be starting on that this week, and they worked last week overnight, I believe. So
Thank you.
Now that they're moving forward, it should go better unless we have another utility problem. Usually what stops the NDOT project is a utility in the way that they didn't realize was there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Question on, Chief, has Clifty Drive, has it reopened yet? I know there's a gas leak
Yes.
this morning from McDonald's.
They're reopened now.
It's reopened now.
That's real.
Good, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Next item on the agenda is resolution 29B.
Okay. This is resolution 2024-29B, a resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, for a street closing regarding the annual Madison Regatta Water Ball fight. Whereas there's been a request filed by Kim Washer on behalf of the Madison Regatta Inc. for street closings for said organization in connection with this Madison Regatta Water Ball fight to be held on Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that the following streets shall be closed from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Tuesday, July the 2nd, 2024. Main Street between Poplar Street and Elm Street, and Broadway Street between 2nd Street and 3rd Street. Be it further resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that said streets as closed shall be under the supervision and control of the Madison Regatta Inc. at the time noted above for the year 2024.
Welcome, Kim.
Thank you.
Festival chairman, is that correct?
Yeah, for the 27th time.
So, this is, the same as in the past,
Yes,
the footprint, it seemed to work pretty good.
yes, it did. And we'll just close just south of the island there on Broadway, near the Broadway. We won't take all of that street, we'll have it for parking.
Yeah. And this is, okay, between second and third, so. Carl, you have any questions?
No, I'll make a motion to approve resolutions 2024-29B.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll move on to the next resolution.
Me again.
Okay. This is for a street closing in connection with the Madison Regatta Balloon Glow. Whereas, there's been a request filed by Kim Washer on behalf of Madison Regatta Inc. and the Riverboat Inn for a street closing for said organizations in connection with their Madison Regatta Balloon Glow to be held on Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that Long Drive from the east side of the Madison Milton Bridge to Ferry Street shall be closed from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. Be it further resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that said street as closed shall be under the supervision and control of Madison Regatta Inc. for the year 2024.
Okay, Kim,
Yes. Me again.
wanna promote your event?
Well, we're basically asking for the street closure due to safety reasons. We'll have 10 balloons glowing on the lawn at the Riverboat Inn. And last year was our first event, and there are a lot of children down there, and everybody's looking up. So the cars are stopping to take pictures, and so we just thought it's a safety thing that we ask for the closure.
Was there any food trucks or anything like that?
Yes, there will.
There will be, it's not.
Yes.
And I'm guessing this is contingent upon the weather,
Yes, it is.
so, since there's balloons involved, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, last year was your first event,
Yes.
and
First
how did,
It went very well. I had probably a couple thousand people down there. And we do tethered rides, and those started
Just
about
going
5
up and
o'clock.
down, up and down.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
up
you're
and
gonna be
down.
heading over to our neighborhood or anything, right?
No, we're gonna stay down on the river,
Okay.
so,
how many balloons do you have?
10.
10?
Mhm.
Good.
Should fill up the lot then.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 2024-30B.
I'll second Carl's motion. Any questions, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Next items on the agenda is the Paul Brun grant applications. Nicole will be
Are you ready for part one?
representing those.
We're going to table the first one.
Yeah, I'll go over that in just a
Okay.
minute. She's switching, to the PowerPoint. So yes, we have two Paul Brun, applications. We're asking, for this first one for 408 East 4th Street to be tabled. We ran into a minor issue, and we're working to resolve that before approval.
So we did a motion to table as well.
Yeah, you can, just, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I make a motion, we table, the application, PACE application for 408 East 4th Street.
I'll second that motion. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, the next Paul Brun, application is for 709 Walnut Street. The maximum award for this type of project is $20,000. The work on this property includes the removal of vinyl siding, restoration of the original wood siding if it's underneath, or the addition of wood or LP Spark siding, pending, National Park Service, approval of the LP Smart siding. And then the restoration of the front facade, originally a shotgun would have had a single door and single window, and we're hoping to return the structure back to that. So we're asking for, preliminary approval pending National Park Service review.
I'll make a motion, we approve the, PACE grant for 709 Walnut Street.
And I just want to be clear, these are Paul Brun grants, not PACE.
I'll second Carl's motion for 709 Walnut Street. Any questions, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Moving on, Nicole, we have a couple finals.
Yes, I have two finals for you. The first is 908 Fillmore Street. You can see these couple before pictures. This is a rehabilitation grant for tuck pointing and some drainage work off of the building. You can see a couple pictures, and they've done a really good job of tuck pointing and getting that water away from the foundation of the building. So the disbursement request is for $7,383.11, which is a total of 50% of her construction cost.
Yeah, we like projects that come in under.
Yes, definitely. And then the next one is 517 Mulberry Street, another rehabilitation grant. This one had a little bit more work, including tuck pointing, window restoration, and the front entry doorway restoration. You can see a couple pictures there. Unfortunately, they submitted their original pictures in black and white, so they don't do it justice. But the final, the next slide, you'll see the tuck pointing work there and the restored doorway. And they've completed their PACE grant according to their grant agreement, and are requesting the full amount of $7,500.
Looks real good. I'll make a motion on that, we approve both of the, finals at, 908 Fillmore and 517 Mulberry Street.
Okay, I'll second Carl's motion. Any discussion, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And next item on the agenda is unsafe structure hearing, so at this point, we'll suspend the meeting and open up a public hearing on an unsafe structure at 755 West Third Street. And I'll turn the meeting over to our council.
Yeah, if I could, I might just, do a little background as to how we got here. This all started back on, December 5th of 2022. A letter was sent to the property owner at 755 plus West Third Street, informing them of a, hearing to be held on December 19th, 2022 with regard to the property. At that time, the property owner, you know, as it came to the meeting and kind of indicated that they were going to demolish it on their own and indicated that they would do so. Time passed by, that didn't happen, and then on April the 5th of 2023, an unsafe structure notice and order of demolition was sent to the property owner, and this was sent at the request of our building inspector at the time, Landon Ralston, and he indicated in that notice the deficiencies where he believed that the property was deficient, and the remedy of demolition. And then there was no set hearing on that notice of demolition at that particular time. And then on May 28th, 2024, a letter was sent out to the property owner informing them of a hearing as required by the statute in order to follow through with the demolition of the property. And so I think that's where we are today. I know Nicole has been involved in this from day one, and then I also know that our current building inspector has seen the property and can, I'm assuming, can concur with the findings of our previous building inspector, Landon Ralston. I have had some conversations with I won't say the property owner, but some surrogates for the property owner. So I do think they're aware of the situation. You can see what it is there. So if you guys want to just present a little bit of evidence for the board, and then they can make and I can kind of talk through what the process is from there.
So we've provided a couple of pictures just to kind of outline for you how the condition has progressed since December of 22. So this was the initial photo we took starting the case. You can see the wall starting to lean. And then this is in January of 2024. You can see that it's gotten worse. That wall is starting to come away from the rest of the building, and that where the photo is being taken from is a public alley, and we're concerned about it falling into the alley and causing damage to both city property and potentially a person if they're walking or driving on that property. And then we included just additional one to give you some more context. You can see on here the roof has collapsed in, not that it was much attached before, but just giving you some visuals, and then I'll let Brian explain a little bit more about the structure itself.
Yeah, like Nicole said, since all of our wall ties, rafters, everything's collapsed, the walls list in different directions. And when it's really windy, I've been down there and witnessed, you can watch the walls move. They prop those up there just to keep the complete, like Nicole said, our boys go down there and there's trash cans, they go down there constantly. You know, heavy wind, someone out there could, public safety is at risk.
Brian, do you concur with the findings that Landon provided back in April 5th of 2023?
Absolutely, I reviewed that, and yes.
Okay. Has anything changed since April of 2025? Let's say for the positive.
No. It's just my short tenure, like Nicole said, I've watched it deteriorate. And it's something Dewey and I every week go by and look at it just to keep our eyes on it.
And you believe there's a public safety hazard?
Yeah, yes, I believe this needs to be demolished as soon as possible.
Alright, board, so pursuant, I guess, is there anybody here that wants to speak on behalf of the property owner or Mr. Wallace or anything like that. Okay, I don't see anybody here to present any evidence to the contrary. So what the board has the authority to do pursuant to Indiana Code 36-7-9-7 Part D is you have essentially three things that you can do. You can affirm the order, you can rescind the order, or you can modify the order, but you cannot modify it to make it more stringent, you can make it less stringent. So those are the three things that you can do. And then once an order is issued, then they, essentially, well, if you affirm the order and request that the building be demolished, there is an appeal period of time of 10 days after they receive the notice of the affirmation of the order. So nothing can be done for 10 days, but that's what it stands.
That notice is sent, registered mail.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, we would send it registered mail.
The original, notice was sent also by registered mail.
Yes.
I concur with, Nicole's statement, about the threat of the building falling into the alley. I drive through there usually every other week or so, just to check on it. Drove through there this morning, looking at it. Every time I drive through, I'm kinda leery that it's gonna fall in on my vehicle. So, and I mean, the pictures here evident that, the building is beyond repair, so. Carl, do you have?
How do we do this, Joe? Do we suspend then the hearing and then it comes back to us, or we just do it within
You do
the confines?
You do it within the confines of the hearing. So, like I said, you have those three options. If your decision is to affirm the order, I think what you would do is just make a motion to affirm the order and the findings in the unsafe structure notice of violation dated April the 5th, 2023.
Okay, I'll make a motion then that we do, affirm the order with all the findings within the violation presented to Mr. Wallace, April the 5th of 2023.
And then are you also within affirming the action requested of demolition?
Yes, I am.
I'll second Carl's motion.
Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we'll vote.
We do a roll call, please.
Sure. Carl Eaglin,
Yes.
Dave Carlo,
Yes.
and Bob Courtney's absent.
I believe that is all that is necessary, and that concludes the public hearing on that.
Thank you, board.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll open up the regular meeting again.
I just wanna give a quick overview, if I might, on other unsafe structures and their status, if that's okay with the board. So to date, we have 178 cases, 45 of those have been abated. We're in the process of moving several of those to a new category of vacant or abandoned, cause we have not inspected them for unsafe. Just to clear up our process, cause they haven't been determined unsafe or not. So a couple before or afters, you might remember, this is at 841 Banta Street. This accessory dwelling or accessory building was collapsing. You can go to the next slide. And it's been cleared up. All that remains is the pad, so that's a win there. This is 1209 Wells Drive. The structure was demolished by fire, and the remaining part was cleared up. So you can see there, the site's been mostly clear. There's a little bit of debris left, but very minor. 149 Lafayette Street, another structure that was struck by fire, boarded up, has been cleaned up. The property is still in the process of being fully cleaned, but the structure has been removed. 720 Montclair Street. This was mostly about visibility to the structure, where you couldn't see it. There were people getting in and out, and they've cleaned that up. So never knew that structure was behind that mess, but it's now safe and secure. And then not necessarily your typical structure, but this was a collapsed wood kind of stand out front of KFC on Clifty Drive. The next
That's the old fruit market.
Yep, the old fruit market. They were, they did not have permission to have it there from KFC, so KFC reached out to us to see if we could help facilitate that removal, and we did. So that's now been cleared. And then we've got a variety of structures that are still going to be on the list. I'm not going to go through all of those, but we'll do a more extensive update at one of your future meetings.
Mine also had 1200 block of Walnut Street. I checked on it last
Mhm.
week, and it's down.
Yep, it's down. He's still in the process of cleaning up the debris.
That particular person did exactly what he was gonna do,
Yes.
and say he did, it could be a one-man operation.
Correct.
And it was slow, but he's got it done.
Yes.
Followed up on it, so, yeah, we appreciate that, so.
And that's all I have for you.
Okay, thanks, Nicole. Unfinished business, we took care of the unsafe structure, the PACE funding.
I don't have an update on that.
Keep that table.
Yes, please.
Mayor's comments, I never received any communication from him for comments, so we'll skip that part. Public comments. Dan?
Go ahead, Jenny. Oh, no, I don't know. Good for you.
You know, I just have a question for Nicole. Maybe she could explain to the public the difference between the PACE grants and the Paul Brown grant,
Okay,
so we know what they are.
yeah,
Thanks for that question, Jan. Yeah, so the City of Madison created the PACE program in 2014. It's a matching program that's available throughout the city. The Paul Broom grant is one that we were awarded funding from National Park Service, $325,000 to create a program that was not matching. So it is income eligible based, and then those applicants do not have to provide a match, but it runs very similar to PACE. The only difference is it's only available for downtown structures that contribute to the district, or could be eligible for contributing to the district.
Nicole, is there a cap on the Braun grant?
Yes, so you saw on the slide, the rehabilitation version of that is capped at $20,000 per project.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we also have a dilapidated structure version of that, I believe is capped at either 100 or 50.
So, do you have any more applications pending?
We are
or-
gonna open up another round. I wanted to get through at least a good portion of this cycle before we open up another round. When we do, we will advertise that with, the media.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Carla, you're next.
Okay.
Well, I heard you creaking.
I know.
Okay, so I would just like, you guys to consider removing some speed bumps around town that I think are completely unnecessary, but I could be wrong, and I would welcome anyone to come in and explain to me why on East First Street, behind the hotel, there are a series of speed bumps. There is from the bridge approach to St. Michael's, there is a stop sign at Clay, there is a stop sign at Baltimore, and I feel like those speed bumps are completely unnecessary.
One speed bump is within 50 feet of the stop sign.
Yeah, and so we have some buildings under construction, repair right now, and so we have lots of, construction people driving in that area. And so, I have a couple friends that have gotten multiple flat tires because the construction vehicles hit those speed bumps and accidentally spill things out of their truck. So I would just like for that to be evaluated. And then the other area is, the alley between Third Street and Main Street that runs behind the Golden Fox between Vine and Elm? No. Vine and, I can't think of the other street.
Those are the ones that kind of one
Yes.
side or another.
Yeah, I just feel like they're unnecessary, like who's gonna speed down that alley? A car barely fits down that alley. So as a golf cart person, to avoid main drags or to avoid cutting through John Paul Park, I usually take the alleys to stay out of the way. So anyway, I would just like for you to consider those.
I will say it, the speed bumps on East First Street, if I remember correct, when the work was being done at the bridge, I believe the residents on First Street requested, speed bumps to slow the traffic down. That's been several years ago. So, you know, it may be time to review those and,
And the traffic flow has changed in that
Yeah.
neighborhood too, because of this bridge
The
approach.
new approach,
So
yes,
it's
sir.
probably time to revisit.
yeah,
That.
I feel like maybe those got put in to help
They
with
serve their
the-
purpose at that
for a
time.
purpose, and then once the construction, the situation was complete, well then, they just got overlooked and, so, okay.
All right, thank you for listening.
Well, while you have me, did anybody call you on the speed bumps on Green Road over by the complex? Cause there was one or two over there, I think I removed one, but you didn't get any comments on that then?
I don't get feedback from any of
It's
the
past
people.
complex going west.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't drive there very often, but
That-
no one's ever come to me with
Okay.
complaints about that. I know that Green Road, you know, back in the day was kind of a place where people would speed,
Mhm.
but I've had no residents come to me and complain
Since
about
then,
that.
they put in a stop sign, I think at Locust and Green Road, and there's still a speed bump there, so it might be something.
Okay.
We'll
Well,
look at that.
I can
find
address
that
the
too.
one on Green Road. We did have a request, from a concerned citizen about the excessive speed on Green Road. And we looked at different ways where we could address that.
I've had my constituents complain. I have the area between Michigan Road and Craigmont,
Mhm.
that section of Green Road, and we do have a speeding problem, and,
Yeah.
the former police chief did take the machine up there, and I think people became more aware. I have not when I went to visit with the, people door to door about it, some were all about, you know, putting a stop sign in. All I was asking at the time was to consider one stop sign at like Streeter Street.
Okay.
But then half of them, you know, it was kind of a 50-50 split.
Right. But getting back to the speed bump on Green Road, that was a straight stretch of uninterrupted flow of traffic and.
And I think
speed
that one
wasn't
was
a problem.
warranted.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I was on the board when that one was approved, so, yeah, so it was put there for a purpose.
There's a lot of traffic at that complex.
Yes.
Yeah, there
You
is.
gotta be careful, kids, especially.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carl.
Can I just ask something real quick that connected with this, I'm sorry.
When you're looking at speed bumps, could you ask them to also look at the newer version, which is called, I think, a speed pillow? It's a longer, flatter thing that they use in a lot of other communities, and it doesn't do the damage to automobiles and things
Yeah.
that speed bumps do. So just have them look at that while you're looking at all of it. Thanks.
Board, I just wanted to follow up on two things that Carla said. The speed bumps that are on First Street behind the hotel, just to add to that conversation, we paved that section not too long ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and had to remove them to do the paving, obviously, and the residents called in and wanted to make sure that we put those back. So we need to evaluate it, but just know that there is interest from the homeowners there that they still have them. I don't know if it's as big a problem as it was, but, and also wanted to let the board know that I am looking at, purchasing some temporary and movable speed bumps, speed tables, the reflectors that are out on Main Street on the east end, we're looking at doing some of those on the west end and identifying crosswalks better, all of the things that can be moved around and just draw attention to, we know we have an issue on Bond Drive, so we're looking at some temporary placements down there, just to remind people that, it's not a racetrack. So just know that we're looking at those things. They're not inexpensive, but, I have some money in the budget this year that we can put toward that.
Okay, thank you, Mindy.
I would like to commend everybody for the pool.
State your name.
Lisa Ferguson, 718 East Second, to commend everybody for the pool, cause, you know, I say now I'm gonna go from golf cart hair to pool hair every day. So it's been awesome. But I've noticed a couple of safety issues, you know, going to the pool this week, and so I was, talking to Tony Steinhardt about it, and he's like, I need you to bring that up at Board of Public Works, because, I saw an elderly couple, were on their golf cart on Friday, and it was a traffic jam down there because JD was setting up for, Weinstein and Barrel. The guys were down watering and working around the fire hydrant, around there, and there was a Cisco delivery truck trying to get down to the lighthouse on top of 400 people visiting the pool that day. It was a busy, good day. And so we were all kind of backed up, just like 10 cars deep, going down Vaughn. And, you know, you're trying to get around a truck, but you can't see. And so this man went out into the opposite lane, and he realized the car was coming towards him. So he didn't look up. He put the car in reverse, and he hit my friends Larry and Elaine Risk on their golf cart. And the man got out and started screaming at them like they'd done something wrong. I'm like, they're just sitting there. I was like gonna be a witness and say, I saw the accident happen or whatever. And they were so shook up, Larry and Elaine just went home. And I'm like, you needed to like let them know something happened. So I haven't.
There was not a accident report.
They didn't do anything. They just said, it's okay, you know, it didn't hurt our golf cart. Elaine shook up, we're going home, you know, whatever. But you all know, because now we're expecting as many as 900 people to the pool, which is a great thing. But we're not equipped for crosswalks and sidewalks for an influx of all those people, especially on the weekends when it's full of everything else we have going on down there. Last week I was going to the pool and I had stopped at the visitor center to talk to Andrew and left there on my golf cart, and this lady was from Louisville, Kentucky, and she had twin little 6-year-old girls, and she was parked at the visitor center parking lot. That's how many people we've had coming and parking all the way up Vaughn, all the way up Vine, all the way down Vaughn, all the way up Elm. And so she's got her, you know, big wagon, and she's loading all of her pool stuff out, and I can tell that's where she's going. And there's no sidewalks on Vine, even that's where the visitor center is. And I know it's hard because the water flow is going down that way, but there's nothing. And so I said, I'll take your kids on my golf cart. If you trust me, I'll get them to the pool and I'll sit there and wait with them until you get there, because she was gonna have to go where there was no crosswalks, sidewalks, or anything with 6-year-old little twin girls and her wagon full of stuff for the pool. So they popped on and I was able to do that, but you know, there's just a lot of things that, you know, we need crosswalks because they're on that side of Vaughn trying to get to the pool. Everybody's parked all in front of Kiwanis Park, so you have to walk out to the traffic, because I parked recently in the new parking lot, which is wonderful about the new park, but you have to walk in the street past Kiwanis Park to get over to the pool. There's just not, it's just a whole area that, you know, I just know we need to start addressing. Those are just things that have happened to me since the pool's open, and so I was talking to Tony about it. He's like, bring it up at Board of Public Works. So I'm doing my job, and Mindy will defer back and tell you what all's gonna go on really, but I'm at least going through the Tony site, so that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Anybody else have anything they wanna bring up before the board? Our next meeting is Monday, July the 1st.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that motion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thanks for attending.
Because it's easier to get over this way.
How you gonna do it? We're easily.
What time are they gonna finish?
Based on